Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And once again, welcome to Kenya. Wenzetu mtanikubali nisome machache ile niko naye kwa Kizungu alafu tutabonga kidogo baadaye. Your Excellency Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency Monica Gengos, First Lady of the Republic of Namibia, Governor Oparanya, fellow governors from neighboring counties, all distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by thanking my brother, President Geingob, for visiting our country and taking time to celebrate with us Mashujaa Day. We welcome you to Western Kenya, and it is my great pleasure to be with you today as we mark Mashujaa Day, a national day to reflect upon, appreciate, and celebrate Kenya's sung and unsung heroes and heroines. I am also delighted to deliver my 6th Mashujaa Day address at this venue in Kakamega County. Buhungu Stadium was recently renovated by the county government of Kakamega to the standards we are enjoying today. It is slated for expansion, and indeed it stands as a proud testimony of the benefits of devolution. Hongera, Governor Oparanya, na tutaungana pamoja tuone vile tutasaidiana mpaka tuwe na stadium ambayo inalingana na zingine dunia mzima. Mashujaa Day has been with us since the dawn of our republic. It is a day to remember, reflect upon, and celebrate all examples of Kenyan heroism, great and small, well-known and unknown, by all except the few who witness it. To those men and women whose efforts and sacrifices gifted us independence from colonial rule and imperialism, and those who advanced the cause of democracy, and those who upheld the rule of law, on behalf of the entire nation, I express our eternal gratitude. Fellow Kenyans, Kenyan heroes whose acts of sacrifice, service, and generosity for the sake of others reminds us again and again what is best in our nation and humanity. Our heroes come from all occupations and from every part of our country. But among the greatest of our heroes and heroines are those who run towards danger while most of us flee it. Our men and women in uniform. The Kenya Defense Forces are serving us bravely in Somalia as part of an African Union force that is fighting terrorism in order to bring peace to our region. We recognize the hardships of war and the sacrifices in blood and life that they have made, and indeed we thank them for their service. We are staying the course in Somalia alongside our region and the international community because we know that as long as Somalia is under the assault of terrorism, Kenya will not be safe. We also celebrate the men and women of the National Police Service who often undertake their duty at great personal risk. Among them are the brave officers who are protecting villages and border towns from brutal criminality. We thank them and recognize that we must improve their conditions of service if our gratitude as a nation is to take concrete shape. And it is for this reason that my administration has undertaken the boldest police reforms in a generation. But we also thank our Kenya Wildlife Services, our forestry services, and all our disciplined people who day and night risk their lives to protect this beautiful nation and her people. For the men and women who are lured into terrorism against our people and our nation, I advise them to read the history of Kenyans, to understand that Kenya cannot be defeated because her children fought hard for our freedom. And we will never allow this country to be destroyed by any person or group of persons. I join other Kenyans in thanking the men and women who are preventing and reversing radicalization in our country. We also recognize that they come from every walk of life. Some from the security services, others from civil society, and most are friends and relatives of those targeted. Preventing and reporting radicalization is an act of love for the individual targeted, our communities, and the nation. Sustained prevention will require us to work together as a nation, and I therefore urge all counties to formulate strategies, launch and implement a county action plan to prevent and to counter violent extremism so that we can all join hands in protecting our nation. Today, as has been said, we also celebrate Kenyans who lift the banner of our nation high. Our record-shattering athletes like Eliud Kipchoge demonstrate our talents and confidence. Our scientists and innovators, such as the medical team that separated the co-joined twins, Blessing and Favor at Kenyatta National Hospital, our young computer specialists who have the courage to bring to life new technologies, and our entrepreneurs who bravely embark on delivering new services to Kenyans and the world. We celebrate the millions of Kenyan workers who every day strive to faithfully perform their responsibilities and provide for their teachers, for their families. We recognize too our teachers who are passionate about developing our young minds and impart good value, and our farmers who toil our land to produce food to feed our nation, our doctors and nurses who are at their duty stations daily and working hard and honestly to earn a living and to save life. Let us also recognize that we also need everyday heroes, that every one of us can be a Mashujaa. The power to do good and contribute to the transformation of our country lies with each and every Kenyan. My fellow Kenyans, I am often asked why at every gathering and in every speech I give, I always talk about the need to fight corruption and impunity. I do this because corruption and impunity undermine our unity, prosperity, and happiness as a nation. Every country that has developed into prosperity has had a dedicated and effective public service that is trusted by its citizens. The public service has helped build and regulate new markets that attract investments and create jobs. It requires public servants who are innovative, but most importantly, honest. Not those who use their positions to enrich themselves or favor certain groups in their service provision. My administration is taking measures to bring accountability to the public service. These include the fresh vetting of all senior accountants and procurement officers, as well as enhanced lifestyle audits. We have also provided resources to our investigatory agencies that are working to bring cases against the corrupt in order to deter these crimes. To consolidate the gains we are making, the EACC should promulgate regulations and guidelines to enable all investigative agencies to access wealth declaration of all state and public officers. Further, both the Directorate of Criminal Investigation and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, so that they can complement each other. I have also in the process directed actions that will reduce wastage of public funds and make government departments more accountable and efficient. I am indeed aware that every taxpayer's shilling is hard-earned and that it must be translated to services that make a positive impact in the lives of our people. I want today for everyone in Kenya to know that no matter your standing in society, we are all equal before the law. Cases against corrupt acts are being built against persons who may have thought themselves untouchable. And the ongoing prosecutions will not just be limited to senior public servants who betrayed their oaths of office, but also their accomplices in the private sector, including the professionals who aid in the laundering of stolen public money. My fellow Kenyans, we must accept that corruption is lethal, and as such, we must do all within our power to eliminate it. Fellow Kenyans, I and most Kenyans are deeply concerned about the number of serious road accidents, including the one that recently happened, killing more than 40 people just because of the greed of a few of our servicemen. I expect the National Police Service to take every measure to combat the culture of bribery that allows cars that are not roadworthy or are being driven recklessly to remain on the road. Going forward, I direct the Ministry of Interior, together with the police leadership, to take every step to reverse the situation, especially in taking advantage of the new police reforms to deliver a noticeable improvement in the regulation of traffic. Equally important, passengers and drivers must be responsive to safety. If you are in a matatu being driven recklessly, speak up as a group and refuse for your lives and those of other road users to be endangered. Fellow Kenyans, it would not be right for me to fail also to applaud all honest and hard-working public officers and police officers. There are many of you within the ranks of government. And on behalf of the people of Kenya, I thank you for remaining resolute, especially on this day that we celebrate our heroes, for you too are heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you all, in the love of our great nation, to join me in fighting this evil. Let us shame the corrupt and refuse to honor them. And let us teach our children to protect their reputation and that of their family by growing up to be honest adults. Fellow Kenyans, I know that Kenyans are going through tough times in terms of livelihood, and I am committed to ensuring that these difficulties come to an end as we all work hard together to structure our economy so that it grows strongly in ways that improve and impact on the daily lives of Kenyans. When I was seeking your mandate for a second term, Kenyans put it clearly to me what challenges they were facing and those that needed to be prioritized. They said they required a decent roof over their heads, to be able to afford to have food on their table, to access affordable health care, as well as jobs for our young people. And hence the Big Four agenda is designed against this backdrop and is being implemented to make real differences to the lives of our people. We aim to deliver 500,000 affordable housing units by 2022, universal health care for all, food and nutritional security, and sharply grow the manufacturing sector and value addition of agricultural products. What this means is that carpenters and builders will get a lot more work and more farmers will prosper, jobs will be created in factories, and these in turn will create even more work for Kenyans. Jobs also will be created and livelihoods improved as we also begin direct flights between Kenya and the United States that will begin in a week's time. And in this regard, we are proud of the work that has been done by our teams to meet the high security standards that these direct flights require. There will now be more tourists, more investment, and a greater flow of goods. Most Kenyans may never take the flights, but millions of us will have more money in our pockets because of the opportunities arising from that connectivity. We also do better in supporting our farmers, whose hard work is the backbone of our country's economy. We must reduce costs of production and ensure that they receive timely payments. Here in Western Kenya, my administration has consistently focused on supporting sugar farming and production. And really, it is not acceptable that cane factories have been collecting cane from farmers and not paying for it, while we know very well that the demand for sugar has been on the rise. After discussions with leaders, today, I directed the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Treasury to immediately put in place a framework to pay sugarcane farmers, but after auditing the 2.6 billion Kenya shillings, which is the outstanding amount owed to them by public sugar factories. Na hiyo pesa ilipwe mkulima, isilipwe watu ambao wataenda kuingiza pesa hiyo kwa mifuko yao. Hii ni pesa ya mkulima. On the part of sugarcane farmers, I also encourage you, all of you, to sell your produce to the factories that are well run and who pay on time. Selling to the informal markets is undermining the farmers' incomes and reversing the development of a proper sugar industry. Having said that, the factories that are not paying farmers promptly need to step up seriously to meeting their obligations in a timely and convenient manner. I need not tell you how important sugarcane is for the farmers and families in this region, nor that they have recently been unable to receive payments. Farmers who have labored long and hard. And that is why I instructed that a task force be established, chaired by the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, to report within the month with the recommendations for restructuring this industry. Furthermore, we cannot overemphasize the importance of maize in our country. So we will make sure that our farmers are paid. And again, I also direct that a second task force be constituted, again by the CS Agriculture and Governors Patrick Kahemba and Jackson Mandago, to look into bringing a lasting solution to maize farming in our country. Cotton farming was once a major source of income and livelihood for many people in this region. And as such, I have instructed the Ministry of Health agriculture, trade, industry, and cooperatives to work together and come up with a quick mechanism to revive the production of cotton, including the possibility of farming BT cotton, which we need. Fellow Kenyans, we must heal ourselves of the culture of permanent and negative politics that is corroding the unity of Kenya and the hope of Kenyans. Every day, we are given reasons trumpeted from media and political platforms to doubt the goodness and direction of our nation. Thankfully, we are also blessed with heroes among us who refuse to glorify hopelessness. They are driven by a hope that they can make a difference. They step up in that faith and by their actions make a great difference. It is not in the life of many then in existence to pursue your personal gain. And to this end, I also say that that is the spirit of the handshake with my brother Raila Amolo Odinga. We reach out to all leaders to help us bring our people together. And indeed, as our brother President Gengob has said, our coming together is also being recognized by other countries who wish to make Kenya an example of how people and leaders can come together even after political competition. And as a result of that, we are happy that now we have the African Union who have recognized our brother Raila Amolo Odinga and appointed him as the High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa. Hiyo haingewezekana kama tungekuwa tunaendelea na siasa yetu ya ugomvi na kushindana. Lakini kwa sababu wameona watu wamekuja pamoja. Na kazi ni nyingi jameni. Kazi ni nyingi ya kusaidia hawa wa Kenya. Sasa kama sisi tungekuwa tukigombana hapa, sio kazi ingepatiwa mtu mwingine. Raila akienda kwa hiyo kazi unafikiria atasahau mabarabara zetu hapa Kenya? Sio ndio itakuwa ya kwanza? Jameni, tuache mambo ya ujinga. Tushikane, tuheshimiane, tujue Kenya haiwezi bebwa na mtu moja. Sisi wote lazima tuje pamoja. I want to conclude by saying that hope is never a dry well from which we draw comfort as human beings and citizens. Building the Kenya we want is unfinished work, full of challenges. But with hope, confidence, togetherness, we will be able to tackle any challenge we face in building our nation. Kenya needs her children to love her and to raise her up in their esteem despite her shortcomings. Because we know Kenya is our only home that we received from our parents, and we must pass her on in good shape to our children. I conclude by underscoring the power of hope. Hope, dear Kenyans, is what allows us to capture greatness. Let us hope in each other's goodness and potential to be great, so that our efforts may be joined in building a nation worthy of our long journey, which has only just started. Kenyans must be brave in your life. Act in ways that will make your children admire and esteem you. Let us lift up our nation to the skies. That is the best way we can honor our men and women who paid dearly for our independence and the freedoms that we enjoy today. Asante. Kwa hivyo wenzetu wa Kakamega County, sisi tuko na furaha tele kuwa pamoja nanyi siku ya leo, tukiwa tumekuja kuungana pamoja nanyi kusherehekea siku hii yetu ya Mashujaa. Nataka kumshukuru Governor Oparanya kwa kazi ambaye tumeona kwa muda mchache ameweza kufanya kubadilisha maisha ya wakaaji wa Kakamega. Baadaye tutaenda kuangalia hospitali ambayo inajengwa hapa, tuone vile tutasaidiana. Hii stadium ambayo imejengwa hapa, tunataka tusaidiane. Tuweke viti wananchi waweze kuwa wanakaa vizuri wakiangalia mpira na mambo yale mengine. Tunataka kusaidiana kwa mambo ya barabara, mambo ya stima, mambo ya kulete viwanda hapa kwetu. Na ndipo tuwasema, ndio mambo haya iwezekane, sisi kama Wakenya lazima tuje pamoja na tuache siasa ya kuchimbana. Sisi kama Wakenya lazima tuje pamoja na tupambane na ufisadi. Nasema hivyo kwa sababu gani? Kama ni mambo vile tunasikia kilio ya wakulima wa sukari, mtu anajiuliza, ile pesa yote serikali imeweka katika viwanda vyetu ya sukari na bado mkulima analia ya kwamba hajalipwa. Hiyo kiwanda huwezi ingia huko uone mashini moja mpya. Hii pesa jamani inaenda wapi? Sinaingia mifuko ya watu wengine huko. Na ndipo tumesema hakuna pahali ya kujificha. Hii pesa ni ya mkulima, iende kwa mkulima. Na hata hiyo mmeiba tutaifuatilia, tujue iko wapi na tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumechukua hatua kwa wale ambao wamefanya hivyo. Juzi mlisikia kilio pia ya wakulima wetu wa mahindi. Katika bajeti ya mwaka uliopita tulikuwa na zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 2 ya kulipa wakulima wetu wa mahindi. Lakini kesho yake unasikia hiyo pesa mkulima hajalipwa. Lakini unasikia kuna mkulima ati amedeliver kwa NCPB mahindi ya shilingi milioni 200. Jameni, niambieni ni nani? Mimi niko na shamba na sio ndogo. Niambie ni nani mkulima ambaye anakuza Kenya hii mahindi ya shilingi milioni 200? Si ni ukora jameni? Si ni ukora? Mtu anavuka hapa kwa mpaka, anaingia Uganda, anatafuta mahindi, labda hata hatafuti, anakuja kumwaga. Mkulima ambaye ametoa jasho wa Kenya analala njaa, watoto hawajasoma kwa sababu ya ukora ya wachache. Na ndipo nilisema, waziri wa kilimo Bwana Kiunjuri, tujue ya kwamba sasa mchezo umeisha. Tafuta hawa watu ambao wanakula mali ya wengine, utuletee tufunge, ama wewe mwenyewe utakuwa na shida katika hiyo shida mambo. Kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwa kila saa pesa inatolewa na inakulwa na wachache. Hii ni kodi ya Wakenya, iende kwa yule ambaye ametoa jasho. Ama mwasemaje wenzangu? Si ni namna hiyo? Na mambo haya ya kupambana na ufisadi, mambo haya ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweza kurekebisha viwanda vyetu ambavyo vimeanguka na kupata barabara na kuimplement agenda yetu 4 ambaye ni ya kubadilisha maisha ya Wakenya, ndio imetusababisha tuseme mambo haya hatuna upinzani. Njoo tufanye kazi ndugu Raila, njoo Kalonzo tufanye kazi, njoo Musalia tufanye kazi. Hii ni mambo ya Wakenya wetu jameni. Mimi kazi yangu itakuja iishe niende nyumbani. Mkiendelea kufurugana mnafikiria ni mimi mnanyanyasa. Si ni wananchi mnanyanyasa jameni? Au ni namna gani wenzangu? Mwasema tuje pamoja au tuendelee na vita? Tunataka amani au tunataka vita? Hebu nione kwa mkono ni wangapi wanasema tunataka amani na umoja, Wakenya washirikiane na wapendane. Mambo ni hiyo. Wale ambao hawataki kuona haya wapotee, shauri, mimi sijui. Sisi tunataka amani. 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 Tunataka nchi ya Mkenya, sio nchi ya Mkikuyu, Mjaluo, Muluya, Mkalenjin. Tunataka taifa la Wakenya. Wakenya ambao wanahudumiwa na serikali yao na viongozi wao. Na tukiwa hivyo, hakuna lolote laweza kutuzuia kuwa nchi tajiri, na tuwe tumeweza kupambana na umaskini kikamilifu, tuwe tuko na mahospitali nzuri, tuwe tuko na kazi kwa vijana wetu, tuwe tumejenga manyumba kwa wananchi wetu. Mimi hiyo ndio barabara naangalia, na mimi nataka Wakenya tuungane. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, Kakamega nasema Mungu awabariki Wakenya, Mungu awabariki, awalinde, na tutarudi tena. Asanteni sana.